What is up, collective? Welcome back to my channel where we are digging just a little bit deeper every time that we dive. Hopefully you find my array of soundtracks that I didn't arrange quite appetizing. Let's take a moment and just relax. Bring ourselves back to center, back to spirit. And with that, spirit, is there anything that you would like to say to the collective at this time? I'm getting prompted Star Seeds Oracle. Either someone is cheering or there is something in here that is mighty juicy, either in terms of development or tea, and I think it's a little bit of both. This is one of my first pulls from this deck. How's everybody doing out there? Rhetorical, of course, but hopefully energetically you're sitting with yourself, relaxing, listening, meditating, pondering on life's great questions. I'm sorry, flashing at me. I think what we're looking at here is somebody is in contemplation of their past actions and decisions and where it's led them. I remember the gorgeous pony, your life is a canvas. Again, that's not the message just yet, but I think your angels are coming through here. And we don't mind it. Earth pulsing, Earth, you're not alone. There you go. There you go. So thank you for the confirmation there, Spirit Team, Spirit. Anything you'd like to come forward, and just like that. I'm sorry, lifting the veil, star ancestors with loosen your grip at the bottom of the deck, but I get that we're getting that. Loosening our grip is what's going to go ahead and help us contemplate on what it is that we can do, what it is that we want to do. Looks like there's a bit of healing that needs to take place. Take it only if it resonates. We don't want to beat ourselves around into a whole of a healing journey. Take it from me, there's plenty to heal from. Let's go ahead and dive right in with I'm sorry. I'm feeling as though somebody really wants to say sorry. Let's take a little look there. As it is my first time, I am familiarizing myself with the orientation of the guidebook. So hopefully you at home are either settling in and really getting ready to dig and dive in deep. It's got to be alphabetical. Got to be. Okay. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for the weight there, collective. Defenseless. Riding past wrongs. Uprooting. We're living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, we tend to see things, maybe somebody needs to, as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for star seeds. To bring unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. We'll take a momentary pause there. My goodness, it's seeming like it's starting to come together here, collective. But if you need a moment to pause the video to work through anything that might come up as a result of this, feel free and encouraged to do so. Diving right back in, you may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have consciously or unconsciously inflicted pain on others. To find a way to drop the armor around your heart and see things as they truly are for all people. To say, I'm sorry, with an open heart and mean it. To be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the patterning that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or do healing work on your ancestral line. Star Seed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to drop your defenses and unwind past wrongs? My goodness, that is already off the bat something that we all could probably take a long, hard look at and decide if we have the strength and the courage to be able to face the people that we potentially have victimized. And I'm not perfect, neither is anyone. But there is also a time and a place for the sorry to be facilitated. And it looks like what I'm getting at in the last couple of reads, which seem to be connected, that sorry has to take place when both parties are ready, and it looks like your angels and guides are intervening in the process of making that apology window a reality, an opportunity for you to be able to work things out with somebody who is understanding and willing to participate in either closure, beginnings disguised as endings, which is a bit cryptic, but hey, this is a tarot channel, so dive right on into the crypt with me. We're getting cryptic. We're talking about people who lived, breathed, and died, who are part of your family or part of your love circle, or your extended family, shall we say, of friends and loved ones, that when they pass on, some of them remain behind and they are able to counsel you. So this is what we're talking about here, lifting the veil, star ancestors. There's a pain, a deep pain within this sorry card that's probably going to get elaborated on. I'm not going to clear the board because I feel like we're going to have to get in a little bit deeper, try and keep it as expeditedly quick and concise as possible. Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. The ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship created in precise alignment with the stars exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. A little confirmation light flicker there. Somebody's powerful. I know the collective is. You are being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong. When we do the unexpected, so often a creative solution is right in front of us. But because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are needed, or that are so needed on the planet right now. To unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on Earth, and one day will again. A bit of a mouthful there. Starseed activation. Place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I'm ready to remember ancient mysteries and secrets from deep within. And I could probably see a few tarot readers in my mind's eye giggling at me that you're not supposed to read that part, but that's okay. On this channel, we are going to keep moving forward and lift the veil. But on that, very briefly, the ancestors seem to have displayed not only superior technology but superior community as well, from what we've been able to decipher from the information that's been given, which seems to have had a number of plot holes and missing pieces to it. But the more that you look and the more that they unveil, if they, necessarily grabbed pieces of history and tried to stuff them in a box, it's probably not the best idea in the world, because as we're seeing, again, star ancestors, we're talking about supernatural beings, as we would probably try to categorize or describe them in such an implicit way, are what we are when we pass on from this world and the veil is lifted. And sometimes the veil is lifted in certain people's lives, and they have huge responsibilities and huge things to do within life. It's not as if you just awaken and now you're marching around as an awakened being. There are responsibilities and duties that you have to perform that couldn't otherwise be described unless you've experienced them for yourself. Hence the veil. You wouldn't even know what I'm talking about if you didn't experience something like that in the first place. So hopefully that resonates if you're on my channel, because otherwise you're probably going to be confused. But that's okay if you're learning along the way where you're guided. Lifting the veil. Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths, so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pull this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems in ways, I can hear someone in the back right now. They are senselessly arguing that they've tried everything. They don't want to take what's being given right in front of them. And they really want to hear something else on the subject. They do not want to hear this again. But we're going to finish what we started here, and then maybe we'll pull a little more clarification without so much being, almost what seems as if to someone specifically oppositionally informative. So we're going to keep moving. But to that person out there, I feel for you. I know exactly how you feel, and just take it day by day, breath by breath, relax. Remember that spirit's in control. And rein it back in on my channel. Hopefully that wasn't more than, let's say 50% of my audience that is in sheer disbelief, because otherwise, why are you on a tarot channel? But that's alright. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others but no longer do. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of Earth, to stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They're here to bring society and humanity back into harmony with the planet and the Creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. You're being called to trust yourself, notice what's out of alignment, and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is no easy feat, but it's so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet. Starseed Inquiry: what isn't congruent in your life? How are you being called to bring it back into harmony? Okay. A little to add to that. I'm trying to keep it to a degree brief, but we're talking about social impact as well as kind of what looks like maybe some level of destiny mapping, and someone might be a bit vexed. Oh man, my little cleansing thing went out. Let's go ahead and spark her back up. A big shout out to Archangel Michael and all the other archangels. But here on this channel, we love Archangel Michael. We know how much he gets called upon. Maybe not to the extent of how much he gets called upon, but yeah, go Team Archangel Michael, who undoubtedly serves the Most High God, which on this channel is what we're all about, communicating with the divine. So, all of this here, what it seems to me, advice that you could use, that you don't want to get, beaten around by the cards so much and so often as it seems like the energy has been in this transit. So maybe, yeah, we're gonna go that one after this. Angelite. I don't know why I haven't mentioned any of the other crystals that I keep in my arsenal or employ, but Angelite is supposed to represent angelic communication. Maybe someone's stirring from a spiritual slumber, more or less, having to get some rest, kind of getting their passions back into play. Two of Pentacles flashing back out, but strikingly looking like waking from some rest, which may not be a bad thing. And certainly needed from what it looks like is already on the board. So a little clarification from Light Seers Tarot. As I shuffle here, Spirit, what would you like to say? Definitely some reflection going on. Eight of Swords cutting in. Someone feels bound. Definitely, I think what it's looking like is forgiveness of oneself is imperative at this time. So, understanding that everything is a lessener of a lesson, and if you around, you find out. So, let's go ahead. Spirit, clarify anything. I'm sorry. Is there anything that would assist the collective in the process of healing and moving through these transits towards what somehow, flashing from the last message, some cards reoccurring coming through here, which is not a bad thing. It looks like we're just looking for a little emotional reconciliation with oneself is what overall I think I'm dialing into. Go ahead and kick some out on me, Spirit. There we go. King of Pentacles, the Magician. Okay, so someone is in contemplation, as I thought. I'm going to be trying to sneak around on my channel, collective. We're going to reveal what is hidden that needs to be, that won't necessarily be damaging. Yeah, Ten of Swords. There's some damage here. That's where this apology is coming into play. Maybe who you were, who you had to become in order to survive or thrive in what you went through, Star. Yeah. I think maybe hearing it from me or someone else, yeah, Page of Swords in the reverse, ain't gonna help you. The Hanged Man at the bottom. You need to hear it from yourself. And you don't know what the F that means if you're in this situation. it takes time, spirit. Yeah, Eight of Cups and deep contemplation and reflection. Temperance, wanting to kick out, even though I'm trying to. Okay, we'll take them. We'll take them. We'll take the cards. Six of Wands. A celebration is near imminent. The Devil in reverse, separated by Temperance. No, this is. There we go. Kick them out of there. All right, the Devil in reverse, Temperance, Six of Wands, Page of Swords. It could be that there's a lot going on, or was, and now that things have transpired, it seems like you're simultaneously in a state of more multidimensionality, of course, especially if we're here, but in a state of conflicting duality to the state, or which the degree of the state of the confliction is in itself a strange contradiction. And it seems like, yeah, King of Pentacles, the Magician, Temperance, Six of Wands, this transit around the Devil in reverse. You're no longer attached to puppet strings, and maybe even may have cut some cords, or potentially gotten rid of some attachments that weren't cords in and of themselves. Let's see, because it still seems like more or less the advice seems to be the same. And I feel for you, collective, I do. Yeah, King of Wands, Ten of Wands. Spirit, what else would you like to provide? It may be that this is part of what you need to go through, and you just need to trust the process. And that's hard to do after what it seems like we've been through. If the ancestors and guides have been called in, it's no light situation, nothing to make light of, and a lot of times it can be confusing. Yeah, the Moon and the Queen of Wands, someone could have been doing spell work on you. It looks like could potentially have been scrying or spying on you, which, if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, this information, or this transit, has been a slow moving process, deliberately so, to be able to get to this unveiling of the veil, and definitely separating the illusion. I mean, we got an arsenal of what seems to be heavy hitters. This doesn't necessarily seem like, I'm getting that this is more of your spirit team, or your social circle, or your inner self, your relationship with inner self, but there's still some things within the map or scope overall of the things that you have to take care of, that it seems like you're asking for assistance, and it's slowly coming in, but you're just like, you're so beside yourself, you don't want to deal with this. In this Ten of Swords, it's an interesting illustration. I see why Spirit brought in the old lights here, the Cadillac of tarot cards there, to smooth right on in to this. This is you being more or less separated from all of this now, and there is cause for celebration for that. I'm sure internally, yeah. The Sun and Nine of Swords. There's been healing and releases that have taken process, and it seems like now you might be interested in finding a romantic partner. I got half the cups royalty flashing at me, shuffling through. So Spirit, what is the advice for somebody who would like to advance in romance? I have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. The World, or I'm sorry, the Hermit. Page of Wands. Looks like somebody got to make a move. And oh yeah, Knight of Wands there, kicking right out at me. Somebody has got to make a move. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Fun fact for all my tarot readers out there, as we're getting closer towards our Archangel Sword of Light closer. It seems like within Within is where the work is to be done. Ace of Swords. And mentally, it seems like you may have run up against a number of seemingly what could be brick walls. And that's okay. Let me check how much time we're at, because I am limited on capacity. Okay. We're going to try and keep this brief. I'm going to segment this into a part 2. I'm limited on space, which is why I keep trying to rush through things. So, Nine of Wands, you know what? We're going to part 2. Part 2. See you there.